Hi everyone and welcome to the Safety Show brought to you by Lancaster Safety Consulting. I am your MC for the night. My name is Adam. Tonight we are going to go over most recent OSHA news, OSHA Top 10 Violations, and goal setting for your company. And now I'd like to introduce to you your host for the show tonight. She's quirky, she's got purple hair, and she's got the voice of an angel. Take it away, Crystal.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Crystal, and it is great to be here. We're going to go ahead and kick this segment of the show off with some goal-setting tips. Now, goal setting is a great idea because it provides you with a clear focal point of what to work towards. As an employer, there will always be ways to improve in your workplace and to make it safer and more inviting for employees. So, goal number 1, safety training, attendance, and participation. The start of your goals list should be focused on employee education, and it should be the core of your company's safety culture. You should set a goal of 100% attendance for all safety trainings and conduct makeup trainings if needed. Goal number 2, recognizing and correcting hazardous conditions in the workplace. So once your employees know OSHA's regulations, they are more likely to notice hazards in the workplace, which means then they're going to start reporting unsafe conditions, acts, and even safe practices. This means they can keep themselves safe as well as others. So now that we've had a chance to talk about goal setting, what we'd like to talk about is the highlights of 2017 and what's been going on with OSHA, and then talk about what to look forward to in 2018. So, joining me now is Safety Mythbuster and Penalty Killer, Mr. Safety McMike. Thanks for joining us tonight, Mike, and we're excited to catch up on what's been going on with OSHA.
Thank you for the introduction. Good evening, everybody. I'm very happy to be here.
So, we're going to go ahead and just dive right in. I want to first start off by talking about what has been going on with the rise in OSHA fines.
Yes, absolutely. It's something that every employer dreads about, is receiving their OSHA violations and their citations for things that may have happened over the past year. In January of this year, for the second time since 1990, civil penalties rose, and this would really deal with all types of OSHA violations over the entire spectrum. Due to the Inflation Adjustment Act, the Department of Labor is required to adjust these violations by January 15th of every year. We currently have no information on any kind of inflation that may happen over the course of next year, but once we find that out, we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, well, hopefully the fines aren't too drastic for 2018, and like Mike just said, we're going to do our best to continue reporting on that and keeping everybody in the loop. Now, on to working services. So, back in January, the general industry requirements were finally aligned with construction regs. So this makes it much easier for those performing both types of activities. What else is in store for that?
Yes, that absolutely does make it very easy to understand. So for fall hazard and equipment, the training was due by May of this year, while inspections and certifications of permanent anchorages for rope descent systems, that was due by November of this year. In 2018, the main changes that we're going to be dealing with and looking at deal with fixed ladder systems, and included with that is also personal fall arrest systems, ladder safety systems, cages, and wells.
Well, that sounds like that's a lot of positive changes.
Absolutely.
Coming. So now, silica. I know this has been a huge undertaking for our corporate office, so can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, the big bad silica update 2017, at least for our construction clients that we deal with, they had their deadline for September 23rd to kind of fall into place with these new requirements. And really the new changes is having to put more engineering controls, more personal protective equipment controls, and even doing some air quality testing. Now luckily for our general industry and maritime clients, you have some more leeway and some more time to get used to these changes. The deadline for them would be June of next year, June 23rd of next year.
So, of course, again, if you have any questions regarding that, please give us a call. We'll be happy to help you through any updates regarding silica. Now, last but not least, record keeping and reporting requirements. So can you just kind of give us any updates regarding that?
Yes, and this has been a bit of a goofy one over the year. There's been deadlines that have shifted, times have changed when this is actually going to fall into place, but it finally has. There is a solidified deadline as December 15th of this year. What that entails is your 2016 300A log had to be submitted electronically by December 15th. And that would be any employer or company who had 20 or more employees for that year. Now for next year, what you're going to want to do is submit your 300A for this year, 2017, by July 1st of 2018. And once again, that would be any company with 20 or more employees. And then for companies with 250 or more employees, you want to submit your 300 and 300A.
Well, great. Mike, again, thank you for being here with us tonight and giving us all those updates.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go ahead and cut to a commercial, and when we come back, Adam and the gang will be here to talk about OSHA's Top 10.
Are you aware of all the services we provide? Not only can we conduct your annual safety training, but we can also assist with facility inspections, written programs, online new hire trainings, and specialty trainings too. Contact us today at 888-403-6026, and we're happy to help.
Hi guys, and welcome back. With me I have Jerry and Sarge. How are you guys?
Hello. Very good.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
What we're going to do is we're going to do a rundown of OSHA's top 10 safety violations that happened in the fiscal year of 2017.
Awesome.
Guys, are you ready for this rundown?
Let's get started.
Ready.
All right, boys, go ahead, Sarge, kick us off.
Number 10, electrical wiring methods.
All right, now OSHA has issued this violation over 1,400 times in the year 2017,
Oh, wow.
so it's a big deal. Now, one of the main things that you want to look out for is making sure that you're not using your extension cords as a permanent wiring.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
This one actually fell backwards from number 9 to number 10 this year, so that's kind of exciting. Some things are going right. Surprisingly, though, most of the violations have happened in the general industry sectors, such as food and beverage and retail and manufacturing.
Number 9, fall protection training requirements.
This is a new one to the list this year, guys. Cracking the list at number 9 is fall protection training requirements. Sherry, you want to go into a little detail?
Well, yeah, I mean, OSHA isn't kidding. Fall protection has been on the top 10 list for years. But now they're also looking into making sure that employees are properly trained on the requirements, and that your employees are properly trained on fall protection.
Absolutely.
Nice. If you need assistance with fall protection training, please contact us here at Lancaster Safety. Now on for number 8, machine guarding.
Now this is still holding down the number 8 spot from 2016 to 2017. So, but we have some good news for you also.
That's right. We have some great news as this stays at number 8 again this year. Actually, things have been reduced by 21% this year.
Fabulous.
A nice drastic change in percentage. And machine guarding is also one of OSHA's national emphasis programs, and that's becoming a positive outcome for it.
Nice, nice.
Makes sense.
Number 7, power industrial trucks.
We got a nice picture here of, well, exactly what not to do.
Yeah.
Never
Your
use a
people should not be
forklift.
doing that on the job.
Things like that. No. Don't
Never,
do it.
never.
Don't do it. All right. Now, here's the thing. Don't forget that your forklift operators need to be trained, recertified, and reevaluated every 3 years, and even more so if there's, even more frequently if there's a near miss or there's an accident or something like that.
Right.
So,
Always want to stay on top of that.
right.
Number 6, ladders.
So, moving up a rung from last year is ladders, moving up to number 6.
I see what you did there.
Hey,
Yeah,
thanks.
nice.
Try what I can. Or do what I
It's
can.
simple, people. If the ladder's defective, take it out of service.
Exactly. Now, on top of that, you also want to make sure that your employees have been trained on the ladder that's being used according to its design. you
Right.
know. So,
That, very, very true.
not all
Nice.
ladders are built to do the same thing.
That's true.
On to number 5, lockout, tagout.
So there's a lot that goes into locking and tagging out equipment. What do they cite the most, Jerry?
Well, there's actually 3 main standards that OSHA tends to cite, and they all kind of go hand in hand. First, you need to make sure that you have lockout and tagout equipment, such as your locks and your tags. You also want to make sure that you've got clearly defined procedures and a program in place for that. And also, you want to make sure that there's periodic inspections and training, because if there's any procedures or changes, your employees need to know about that.
Right.
Nice. Now, on to number 4, respiratory protection.
Now this one gets complicated, and it all comes down to whether or not respiratory use is voluntary or it's required.
So how so? You mean I can't just go walking around wearing a respirator?
You can, but you don't need to.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right. Now here, for starters, you want to make sure that the respirator isn't a hazard in and of itself.
Okay.
To your breathing and whatnot. Also, if you're working around contaminants or respirator use is required, you want to make sure that you receive medical evaluation as well as fit testing. Otherwise, it's dangerous. So, however, none of this will matter. I mean, you won't be aware of your exposure until you have air monitoring conducted.
What it comes down to, folks, if you have any questions about respiratory questions, contact us here at Lancaster Safety. We'll be happy to assist you with that. On to 3, scaffolding.
Yep. Now, most of the scaffolding issues in 2017 consisted of the actual construction of the scaffold itself, lack of fall protection on scaffolding that was above 10 feet above a lower level, and not having the appropriate access or egress.
Sure. So let me ask you this. Do you need a competent person to begin work on scaffolding?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, all scaffolds and scaffolding components need to be inspected by a competent person before each work shift and after any occurrence that could affect the scaffold's structural integrity.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Number 2, hazard communication.
This again.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. But didn't OSHA adopt a global harmonization system years ago?
Yeah.
I've been updating logs day in and day out. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, once again, hazard communication is number 2. Employers have to ensure that they've got a written HAZCOM communication program. You want to make sure that all your containers are properly labeled. You want to make sure that you have safety data sheets and that they're easily accessible to all your employees. Okay. And you also need to make sure that your employees have the proper training as well.
Okay, so it's kind of like a work in progress, if you will.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if you need assistance on any of your logs, please give us a call.
Nice. Well, now it's time for the number 1 cited hazard in 2017. Number one, people.
This is exciting.
Drum roll, please.
All right, here we go.
Load it up. Number 1, fall protection.
There it is.
There it is.
You know what? This actually shouldn't be a surprise that fall protection has made it at the top of our list at number 1 yet again this year. It's almost like a three-peat, if you will, if you're looking at sports.
Right. Now, fall protection hazards are actually, the number 1, but they're actually really generally easily fixable. You want to take the time to make sure that you're discussing fall hazards on the job prior to beginning work, and you want to make sure your team is prepared and safe from all potential falls.
Absolutely. So do you guys notice anything similar to this year's top 10 violations?
Yeah, they're the exact same in 2017 as they were in 2016.
Huh.
This means OSHA will be continuing to focus diligently on fall protection, hazard communication, scaffolding, respiratory, lockout, tagout, so we hopefully will see a change in the upcoming year. Contact Lancaster Safety for assistance to make sure that you're compliant with all the standards that have to do with your industry and not just the top 10.
Right.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So that's all we have for you for your top 10. That's your top 10 safety violations of 2017. I want to thank Jerry and Sarge for coming and
Thanks
joining
for having
me.
us.
Absolutely. Now we're going to turn it over to our special guest of the evening, President and CEO of the company, Mr. Jeff Lancaster.
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Jeff Lancaster, founder and president of Lancaster Safety Consulting. Historically, a new presidential administration results in administrative changes with OSHA, and this past year has been no exception. But OSHA's core mission has remained the same: to have all workers return safely to their families each day. We believe that all businesses should adapt to the same mission. Our goal here at Lancaster Safety is to provide assistance with your safety program, help your company through developing written programs, conducting working trainings, and much more, so you can achieve a world-class safety program. Our slogan, "Taking Safety Beyond the Standard," means getting everyone involved to find and fix potential occupational safety and health hazards. OSHA's requirements, although necessary, should be viewed as a minimum standard. A safety program that takes safety above this standard typically results in a safer workplace and a healthier bottom line. Your New Year's business plan should put safety first and should include realistic goals. plan to improve your safety culture through management involvement and employee participation. Attend Lancaster Safety's monthly online webinars. Please read our monthly newsletters and use our client portal. It has all webinar recordings we've done, safety checklists, toolbox talks, and much more. We appreciate you choosing Lancaster Safety to be a part of your company's safety journey. As stated before, safety is a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. We look forward to continuing the safety journey with you, and we wish everybody a happy holiday season and a prosperous new year.
Alright guys, so that's all we have for tonight. On behalf of everyone here at Lancaster Safety, including Mike, Jeff, Sarge, Crystal, and Jerry, we want to thank you for watching. Tune in next year, have a great holiday, and an absolutely wonderful new year.